How's it going, everybody? Today we are checking out Be'lakor, Countless Skies. Yeah, I know you guys have been really recommending this band to me quite a bit lately. I think ever since I kind of started my Nabla with Scarce journey, you guys have been telling me to check out Be'lakor because that's another Australian band. And I know, there's something about Australian bands, man. I don't know what it is, but they just hit different. You got Northlane, Alpha Wolf, you got Nabla with Scarce, Polaris, Thornhill, The Gloom in the Corner. You got iValiance. There's so many bands I could name from Australia that just go so hard. It's insane. And there's probably a bunch that I'm missing too. But yeah, like I don't know. I'm really excited to check this out. The only track I've actually heard from Be'lakor is Abeyance, I believe. I believe that's like their most popular track, at least on Spotify. I think that's like their #1 most listened to track. So I'm just that normie trying to get into Be'lakor. But no, I'm really excited to check this out. And yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. That tone. Oh, that piano. Reverse. It's almost got like a black metal tinge. Not exactly, but very raw. See, this sounds more like Abeyance right here. Bop, 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 bop. That is gorgeous. I'm liking the almost like gothic feel. If you're just like old world. Actually, kind of similar to Navel Scarce in that aspect. Kind of like a charge. I notice Be'lakor likes to do that. At least from the tracks I've heard. Loving the drums. They like crash. There we go. Oh, I like that. That's great. I think that's... I don't know. They're gonna lean into the piano. That dual guitar harmony is pretty cool. It almost puts you in a bit of a trance. Really sets a mood. I suppose that's a lot of prog, though, really. Or just anything proggy. And we are going with the fade out. Huh. I have some thoughts. So, Be'lakor, Countless Skies. Yeah, I have some thoughts about this track. So, first off, I did think overall is a really solid track, and I like how dark it feels. It's very like old world European, like medieval feel to me. At least that's kind of like the overall vibes that I get from it. And what I like about this style of metal and like death metal and stuff is how it really just kind of puts you in a trance, even though it's, you know, got a lot of like heavy parts as far as like the vocals and just how it's produced. Like the production's really raw sounding, even though, you know, there's intricate parts, you know, flowing throughout, and you have like piano and stuff. You know, it's not like the most grungy, disgusting death metal you ever heard. You know, it's nothing really like that, but it does have a very just dark feeling to it, but it's not necessarily like dreadful. You know, it feels like there is a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, if you know what I mean. You know, it feels like, you know, it's really dark, you're going through shit, but you're gonna make it in the end. You know, it's got that little glimmer of hope that they have in the music, and that's something I kind of noticed in Abeyance as well. It kind of had like a lot of darkness, but that little, you know, shimmering light at the end of the tunnel. And I think that's a really interesting concept for, you know, music in general. Just that feeling. It's something that's really hard to capture in words, but, you know, in music it just really speaks for itself. So I thought that was really cool. I do think this, I'd say like this style in particular of like death metal and all that, it's not something I visit all the time. And even like the track Abeyance, I do like it, but it's definitely something where I have to be in a very particular mood, or I have to be playing like a game where it makes sense to have a song like that. If I'm playing something medieval, or if I'm playing Skyrim or something, definitely going to be on the soundtrack. It just makes sense. It really fits that vibe. But it's one of those things where I'm not always really in the mood for it. However, the absolute just talent and stuff that goes like into this band, at least from what I've heard from these two tracks, is really something else as far as just how they create moods in general, you know, like soundscapes and stuff. Like I said, even with their riffs, like, yeah, they're not the most insanely technical, but it's just, I love a good like chug, you know. In like I was saying, it kind of sounded like a charge, like, or like a galloping dun, 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 you know, something like that. That's something I really noticed, especially in Abeyance as well. They had kind of like that galloping riffage, but it works really well with their style, I think, and just like that mood that they're creating, which kind of brings me back to that like medieval kind of vibe. But yeah, getting into some of the more specifics, the vocals are good. I think it's a little weird that they're so far back in the mix, but I do think it kind of works to the advantage and to the benefit of the music, just because I feel like the vocals are very much not the focus of these tracks, because you're getting so many different ideas getting thrown out there with like the guitars, like I said, doing like the galloping and stuff. But then you got like the piano that comes in and kind of takes over, and they kind of take over the melodic side of things and really almost create like riffs of their own. So that fusion of piano with, you know, the lower tune guitar, I think is really, really nice. And then just the drums. I think the drums were probably like the standout for me. I was really, really honed in on those. And it's kind of the same way with Ne Bloediscaris, how the more you listen into the drums, the more like fine little pieces and intricacies that you can kind of notice. And this is coming from someone that I have mentioned a million times before. I don't really know a whole lot about drums. I've never actually really played drums or anything percussion wise. So I'm not super familiar on a lot of the terminology or like what is insane, what isn't. But I guess over, my time of listening to metal, you kind of get an idea of like, oh, that's really cool. I don't usually hear that. And yeah, just the little intricacies with like the cymbals and stuff I thought was a really nice touch. And I think it really added to the track considering there were points where the riffs and stuff stay fairly similar. I mean, there isn't like a whole lot of changes throughout the track, depending on the point, obviously. But yeah, what did you guys think about this track? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Leave a comment down below. And if you have any recommendations, you can leave that down below as well. As always, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and as always, you guys take it easy.